Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers and welcome to the new year, although I am recording these in the last week of December. Thank you always for your likes, shares, subscribes, and all your support, feedback, and comments, and for taking the time to send those in. Those of you who do, keep them coming. You guys are wonderful. And always a thank you to both my regular clients and my new clients for continuing to keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, or you have and you've forgotten the information, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button, and that will give you a little more information and detail in my contact info. You can also find my contact information attached to the description of every video that I post. I do a wide variety of readings, but particularly popular around the end of the year, the beginning of the new year, are the 6 and 12 month overviews that I do, which are pretty intensive reading that explores all the energies coming in and all the main areas of your life over 6 or 12 month period, which you can do at any time of the year, but the end of the year and New Year's time seems to be more popular. I get a lot of requests for those for people or as gifts for friends, family, loved ones too, because you can always purchase a personal reading as a gift. There's nothing more personal than a personal reading. So you may want to consider that. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. That information is there as well. I would be delighted to work with you. Turnaround time for personal readings is usually pretty quick. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. I can almost always get back to you within 24 hours of your initial contact with more information. And scheduling a personal reading live or recorded can take anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 weeks or so, but almost always within a 2-week period of time we can schedule a reading for you. For those of you who are just looking for really fast answers to a quick question, maybe you have a decision you need to make on the fly, or a new relationship you want to take a look at, or an old relationship you want to take a look at, or just anything you're looking for, you just have a quick question or two, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo, which is a smartphone app. It's 24/7, assuming I'm not asleep or otherwise occupied, of course. They have a one question, one answer option. You can open it up to a short reading via text. They also have a video chat option as well. So for those of you who are not looking for the longer, more intensive spreads, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. And that contact information is also under the About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, and also attached to the description of all the videos I post, so check that out if you're interested. Watch your rising and your moon side videos as well for additional insight and clarification if you know them, if you can, because as you know, these are general readings. There's a lot of you watching. The details and areas of your life that it resonates in is always going to vary, although the energy typically remains the same. So try to watch all three if you can for additional clarification. Okay, moving right along, let's get into this reading. This is for the water sign of Pisces for January 2018, our lovely mercurial fluid water sign of Pisces. Whenever I think of you guys, I always, for some reason, get this vision in my head of these beautiful little silvery fish kind of darting around in the water. I don't know, it's just what I see in my mind's eye. Okay, Pisces, let's see what the beginning of this new year potentially has in store for you. We begin with the Lovers, followed by the Hermit. We have the Eight of Swords, followed by the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, followed by the Ten of Pentacles, and the High Priestess, followed by the Fool. From the bottom of the deck, your overall energy for January 2018 and guidance is the Ace of Wands. Looks like a pretty powerful month for you, Pisces. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards. Looks like perhaps some significant decision or choice. You may be struggling with trying to make a choice or a decision of some kind. Some of you, this may be in the relationship area of your life. Some of you, I'm getting that you have an idea. It's about starting something new. Overall, as I always say, specifics and details will vary because there's so many of you watching. The energy remains the same, whether it's in the work, career, project, idea area of your life or the personal relationship area of your life, it feels like there's an opportunity for a new beginning. There's an I feel idea, like there's a new idea you have to start something new. You may want to feel like rushing into something. It could be into a deeper commitment with a partner. Marriage for some of you, or starting, I'm getting kind of an entrepreneurial energy for some of you too. You may have this idea that you're just really excited about rushing into, maybe starting a new business or a new project of some kind, getting involved in something new. That's your overall energy for January 2018 is the Ace of Wands. This is fire energy, which is the element which governs the suit of wand. And in the tarot, this energy is very fiery, dynamic, fluid energy. It's all about change, movement, action. It's very creative and enthusiastic energy, has a lot of passion and enthusiasm with it. It's creative energy too. It can often point to creative or artistic endeavors, career as well. You may have you may be feeling so I'm getting a variety of different stories here, which does happen sometimes, so it's kind of trying to sort them out. I feel like some of you may be stuck in a job or in a career path that's not fulfilling to you, but you feel kind of chained to it because it's what pays your bills, and you've got this new idea or opportunity to start something new, maybe go off on your own or be entrepreneurial or something of that sort as well. Some of you, I'm getting that it's a relationship. Maybe you're dating someone and you feel like kind of rushing headlong into moving in together, getting engaged, getting married. I am feeling some cautionary advice into, making sure that this is something you really want in the long term, regardless of what area of your life it's manifesting in. I'm not feeling right now very strongly whether it's yes, it's a great idea, or no, it's a terrible idea. Just some caution on not being too spontaneous, because it feels like you really want to break free and rush into something. And it feels, it looks really good. The Ace of Wands, aces represent the number one. They always represent new starts, new beginnings, the start of something new that holds a lot of potential. It's an opportunity that, if it's nurtured and carried through, it could really manifest into something lovely, because aces are like seeds. If they're planted at the right time and taken care of, they can manifest into their full potential. It's quite beautiful. This is exciting. It could be a new creative or artistic endeavor, a new project you're entering in with other people, a partnership of some kind, a business idea, or just some kind of project, or an actual personal relationship or love romance relationship. We begin with two major arcana cards, the Lover and the Hermit. So the Lover often represents needing to make a significant choice. Sometimes this can be about a very, almost soulmate, karmic, passionate connection. When it shows up at the very beginning in the present time, it often represents a new relationship, or like a budding relationship, or a new budding partnership, or an opportunity for that, the very beginning stages. It's also about needing to make a significant choice in how that partnership or new relationship is going to play out. And so in work, career, finance, or any other project or something, a venture that you may be considering entering into with another person or perhaps other people, it feels like it's in the beginning stages. Again, with that Ace of Wands as overall energy, it's like there's an exciting new idea, an exciting new opportunity, and there's this kind of desire to kind of rush right into it, whether it's, in a project with other people, or a new job or career path, or taking a new relationship, into a much deeper level really quickly. So the Lovers is clarified and paired with the Hermit, which is kind of an opposite sort of energy. The Hermit can be about walking a lonely or a solitary path. It can sometimes represent feeling lonely, although I'm not necessarily feeling that. Some of you may be, for those of you for whom this may resonate in the relationship area of your life, like the love romance relationship area in your life, you may be considering, maybe you've been alone for quite some time and you find yourself in this new relationship that feels very exciting, and it feels like it has a lot of potential, and you're really kind of wanting to move to the next level, and the next level kind of rush in, because this is the energy that you're coming from, is, maybe perhaps being alone for quite some time. The Hermit can also represent needing to withdraw, take some time off, you know, maybe take a step back to kind of go within, so to speak, and seek out some wisdom, insight, clarity, get a perspective. And in order to do that, you need to kind of take a step back in order to do that, because that's what hermits do. What do hermits do? What do monks, monastics do? They withdraw from conventional society or the distraction of conventional society. Why do they do that? To seek insight, wisdom, clarity, to find an answer to something. So it can also represent that too, using the accumulation of your life's knowledge and wisdom to kind of figure something out or make a decision on something. So it could be that for in the relationship area of your life, personal relationships. Again, this could also be, you know, having this exciting new idea or opportunity to go into a partner with somebody else in business, work, career path, a project of some kind with another person, or perhaps a small group of people. Again, the energy fundamentally remains the same. I'm feeling some cautionary advice that, you know, this is not about kind of rushing headlong into it. Take some time to kind of look at it, particularly in looking down the road at how this might play out, and consider what kind of investment it's going to take, whether that's an investment of money, time, love, effort, etc. So that's kind of how we end December, begin January 2018 with this energy. Now next to that we have the Eight of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, so air and earth energy here. The Eight of Swords is a card about feeling kind of trapped or held hostage, feeling like you're not in control, that you're not able to make the decisions and choices that you want to because you're bound to something, whether that's bound by duty, obligation, responsibility, ethics perhaps. But it's somewhat illusionary energy. Swords is air energy, and in the tarot the energy of the Suit of Swords is about what goes on up in our heads, our belief systems, how we look at things, what we believe in, how we think, our perspectives, and how that affects the way that we act, communicate with and relate to the world and people in the world. So the Eight of Swords, what's actually keeping her feeling trapped and held hostage, or him, is a perspective, perhaps a belief system, a way of looking at something, when in reality she's not really being trapped or held hostage. She's the gaps between the swords are plenty wide enough for her to walk through. Nobody's keeping her on her knees. The chains which are wrapped around her wrist she could easily free herself from. Take the blindfold off and realize that she's nobody's victim. She has the ability to make the choices and decisions that she wants, that she is in fact in control. The only thing keeping her there is the idea that she's there, a mindset, a perspective, a belief system perhaps. And again, for those of you who are in maybe a job or a career path that you don't really like, and you have the opportunity to do something else and you want to kind of plunge yourself right into it, the Eight of Swords could maybe represent that you don't feel like you can, because you know what you have is at least steady, it's consistent, it's reliable, it pays your bills. The Eight of Swords, and in relationships too, it may be that you may want to jump ahead into a relationship, but you're feeling maybe held back because, you know, of a sense of duty, morality, honor, obligation. There could be an issue of maybe deciding, for those of you for whom this may resonate more of relationship reading, you may be trying to choose between two people, or you may be in a relationship that you feel kind of obligated to stay in, but there's something else new coming up, because the Lovers can also represent needing to make a significant decision or choice about a significant relationship in your life, and it can sometimes represent needing to choose between two people. And also the Eight of Swords is paired with the Two of Pentacles, which is a card of juggling, of sometimes trying to decide between two things, two people, two situations as well. Two is a number of duality, crossroads choices as well. Pentacles is earth energy, which can often manifest in the tangible sector of our life that deals with money, job, finances, resources, etc. So because I'm getting, you know, a few different stories. For some of you this is in work, career path. Some of you this is there's some other kind of project or endeavor that you want to start, and for some of you this is in the personal love, romance area of your life. And for those of you for whom that resonate, I feel like, again, the energy is the same. You're in something already, whether it's a job or, you just have obligations in your life, or you're in an established relationship already. There's an opportunity for something new. You're kind of going back and forth. You feel kind of chained or stuck or obligated on the path that you're on, but there's still this sense of, there's this other new thing, situation, person that you're trying to choose between what's the best thing to do. And so it may feel like you maybe around the second week or so of January, you may be feeling a little bit stuck, time being fluid. Of course it could be. I am recording these at the end of December. This could already be playing out for some of you. Remember with the Eight of Swords that we're never really held hostage by anything except what we believe and what we think. So remember that, and remember the energy of the Hermit too. It's about taking a step back to get a little more clarity and perspective as well, which will help in helping you decide what is the best decision to make. So next to that we have the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. So here's the Knight of Wands rushing in, wanting to be very spontaneous and impulsive and kind of charging right on through because that's what he does. The Knights also represent offers and opportunities coming in, very fast moving, very exciting, enthusiasm, more fire energy here. And it's clarified by the Ten of Pentacles, which is a card of, tends represent the ends of cycle, the culmination or achievement of something as well. Sometimes the Ten of Pentacles can represent family money, family business, family estate. It was traditionally considered the card of inheritance because regardless of the area of your life it manifests in, it's about the long, slow accumulation of stability and security that comes from working for a long time or being together for a long time, history, time, the long, slow accumulation of something which has long-lasting roots to it. Hence the connection to inheritance, family home, family business, family money, family estates. In relationships, that's a great card to get because it represents a long, really great, stable relationship or marriage. Home and family, it's the same thing. It's like family home, something that's been around for a long time. A lot's been gone into it. So again, I feel this kind of push and pull energy. And for those of you who are considering getting into an entrepreneurial sort of thing, like starting your own business or entering into a project or an entrepreneurial something with another person or something else, this new partnership, it may feel like it may have the opportunity to pan out into something that will end up like the Ten of Pentacles, but this Knight of Wands and Ten of Pentacles could also represent that in order for you to move ahead with this new project or whatever it is, it's going to require an investment or some capital from you that requires you to draw upon a foundation that you already have or something that you worked really hard for. So just be careful about, again, looking down the road long term, looking at all the fine print, examining all the details as well. That's kind of cautionary advice I'm getting to, not yes or no in one way or the other. Because Pisces, you guys are water signs. I actually have a good friend who's Pisces, and he's great at coming up with like the brilliant new ideas and exciting new beginnings, but if he has a challenge, it's kind of sometimes in being able to follow through all the way to the end and seeing something through from the beginning all the way to the end, especially after the initial excitement's died down. So if you're one of those water signs that kind of falls along with that stereotype, just be honest with yourself about that. And this may require an investment from you that be really honest about looking long term down the road. Do you have the ability to follow through and to stick with this? Is it going to be worth your investment? And if it's in the relationship area of your life, same thing. Is this someone that you can envision yourself, waking up with, having coffee with 10, 20 years down the road and still liking each other kind of thing? So just kind of really take some time, take a step back, get some perspective over January. Again, I'm not getting, it's yes, do this, or no, don't do this, because it's going to be different for everybody as well. So just be honest with yourself about looking down the road and don't just make these significant life-affecting, life-changing, potentially decisions without kind of looking at all the details. What's it going to require from you? Timeline, looking down the road. Is this something you can still envision yourself being part of down the road? At the end of the month, we have 2 more major arcana cards. We begin the month and end the month with 2 sets of you know, divine timing orchestration, the strong, profound major arcana energy. The High Priestess and the Fool. The High Priestess, she sees a lot. She's pretty quiet, but she sees a lot, if not most things or everything, but she keeps a lot of it to herself. But she's very intuitive, very observant, very spiritual too, and she trusts in her connection with the divine. This is about trusting in your gut instinct, in your intuition. Intuition is your connection with the divine. That's, you know, messages, clarity. The High Priestess is also advice over the month of January 2018. Pay attention to any particular dreams you might have about the situation, flashes of insight, little coincidences, you know, thoughts that keep returning to the same thing over and over again. Pay attention to that. It's intuition. It's usually messages trying to get through. So pay attention to that. Really try and connect with and follow in regards to making these decisions and choices. What you feel way down deep is the right thing to do. Try and connect with that rather than making this decision based on the heat of the moment or emotions or, you know, the distraction of what it looks like right here and now, particularly in looking down the road. Now, the High Priestess is also paired with the Fool, which is a bit of a different energy from the High Priestess. The Fool is about taking risks, stepping off the beaten path. The Fool is great. It's also here to remind us that it's not necessarily about it's really good to have goals and to plan for those goals and to work towards those goals. The Fool is also here to remind us, though, that the true joy and value is in the path, in the journey, trying to head to our destination, all the things we learn, both the good decisions we make and the bad decisions we make, too. There is some cautionary advice about the Fool, too, because the Fool, you know, can sometimes, he doesn't look before he leaps. We want to make sure there's water in the pool before we jump into it. He can kind of go off and not really worry about things that, you know, maybe we should plan for too. So the Fool can be about brand new beginnings, potential and possibility, and taking a risk doing something we've never thought of before. So again, I'm not getting that clearly that this is a terrific path, yes, do it, or this is a horrible path, don't do it. And again, that's because it's probably going to vary quite evenly for those of you watching. But this is strong cautionary advice too at the end of the month. Try and maintain that balance. Connect with your intuition. What is it really telling you? The Fool is beautiful, wonderful, childish, spontaneous energy, new beginnings, potential, promise. Let's step off the beaten path and do something different. But just make sure that you connect with your intuition and don't go charging headlong and be spontaneous and impulsive in a way that's going to negatively affect you, particularly if it involves other people, you know, down the road. So an interesting reading. Can't wait to hear what the feedback on this is in terms of how it relates to you. So Pisces, I hope this pretty much sums up your January 2018 general reading. I hope that you have that it hasn't been too confusing, at least that you found it helpful or insightful, or perhaps it's validated some things that are already going on or that you're thinking and feeling. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the January 2018 mid-month readings. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me for yourself or as a gift for friends, family, or loved ones, go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button for more information and my contact details. You can also find my contact details attached to the description of all the videos that I post. Email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you and set up a personal reading as quickly as possible. And for those of you who are just looking for fast answers to quick questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy as well, and that link is also in the same place that the rest of the info is. So I will see you all again, and as always, Pisces, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy, happy life as we move into this beautiful new year. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.